Thank you and welcome on your purchase of your brand new Elite Sensational Workstation. Today we are going to go over 3 different sections. Section number 1, we are going to go over all of the tools that you will need to assemble your brand new workstation. Section number 2, we will go over all of the pieces that you need to assemble for your workstation. And then section number 3 will actually go through the assembly process, showing you how to assemble each piece on there. This is very simple, so let's go ahead and get started. Section 1, now we are going to go over all the tools that you will need to assemble your Sensational Elite Workstation. So let's go ahead and get a close-up of each one of these tools and let's give you a reference.
So first we have a 1/2" wrench, we have a size 3 hex, a size 3 Phillips, and a size 6 hex. And today we're going to be using a drill, but you can use hand tools if you'd like.
In section number 2, we're going to go over what products you get in each box that will help you be able to assemble your Elite Sensational Workstation. Box number 1, can you help me out with this, please?
In box number 1, we're going to have our tabletop. It'll be our largest box. Included is the tabletop, the stabilizer bar, runner C and runner D.
The difference between C and D is if you look at C, you'll see little tiny gaps right here. And then when you see D, you'll see the power box where the power box slides onto. So that's the difference between runner C and runner D.
Also included in the top box will be your T-scale ruler. Long part will be in the top box. The protractor will be in the power box, which we'll get to.
In box number 2 and box number 3 will look identical to this right here. Each one of these boxes will be the exact same and it will hold each leg, one for the left and one for the right. So here's the box. Once you open the box and you take out the leg, this is what the leg will look like. Go ahead, Nehemiah.
These are your left and right legs. The telescoping leg section will be located on the outside of your table when it's assembled. The way you can tell the difference between the 2 legs are the 2 hinges. They're located on the opposite side of the legs. We'll get to where we assemble those later in the video.
In box number 4, that is going to be your power box, and it is a smaller box that contains your power box, which looks like this. It contains your remote that looks like this if you have a sensational table. A pigtail that looks like this. 4 casters. 4 casters. You have 2 locking that will be in the front side of your table, and you have 2 non-locking that will be on the back side of your table. Then you will get 4 washers and 4 nuts for your casters. You're getting 2 cotter pins for your actuators that tilt it front to back. You get 10 wood screws, and you get 2 hinge screws, one for here and one for there, and then 2 actuator screws for the back side, which we will be going over in further detail as we do the assembly. Now the box for the power box looks like this. It is a smaller box, and this will be box number 4. In section number 3, we're actually going to go over the actual assembly of the table, each piece and each part that we have shown you previously in each section. Now we are going to assemble. We are going to start off by doing the legs first. So Nehemiah, if you don't mind, let's start off with the right leg. Notice when we assemble the Elite Workstation, we always do it with the tabletop down. Now as he's putting this leg up here, the hinge is going to go on the back. I'm standing on this side of the table. The telescoping legs are going to go towards the outside of the table, and the smaller 6-inch actuator is going to go on the inside of the table. This is the best and fastest and most easy way to assemble the workstation. So let's go ahead and assemble this hinge first. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give Nehemiah the hinge bolt, which looks like this right here. So I'm going to hand Nehemiah that, and I'm going to hold the leg for him. Now, if you can get somebody to help you assemble it, it makes it a little bit easier, but you can do this yourself also. What tools do we need now to go ahead and assemble our hinge?
For our hinge assembly, we're going to need our size 6 hex bit and our 1/2" wrench.
And I'm also going to give you the impact drill that you can use as well. So there's the impact drill and there's the wrench. So now you just want a nice snug fit, correct?
Yeah, we just want to tighten it until we see our leg pull up straight on the side of the table.
So now after we've assembled the leg on one side, we're going to go do the same exact thing to the second side. So I'm going to hand him the impact drill, which has the size 6 hex bit on there. I'm also going to hand him the 1/2 inch wrench so he can hold it down. And I'm going to give him the second bolt, which he already has, to go ahead and put the hinge on. So if you have 2 people, you can just slightly hold the leg up to make it a little bit easier. And now Nehemiah will tighten that bolt when he puts it on there. There you go. Now we have both legs that are hinged to the table that actually go up and down. Now that we have both sides and both legs attaches via the hinge, we're going to go ahead and put the runners on there. The very first runner that we are going to put on is the D runner. You can tell the D runner by the location that it sits on the table and what it has on it. The D runner has the mounting bracket for the power boxes, and it also sits on the back side of the table closest to the 6-inch actuator, and this is going to be put on by using wood screws on the outside of the legs. So what tools do we need for this, Nehemiah? And let's go ahead and get this started.
For this, we're going to need our size 3 Phillips and our impact drill. We'll need a total of 6 wood screws for this part.
Wood screws look like this. So there's 3 right there, and then I will get 3 for the other side, sir. Right. 3 wood screws for this side and 3 wood screws for this side, screwed from the outside of the table to the runner. Now we're going to do the other side. Okay. So notice the D runner does not sit all the way on the back side of the table like the Advantage does. This is a little different. Now we are going to do table runner C that sits in the front side of the table. You know this is table runner C because where the hinges are, there's a little gap right there, so it accounts for those hinges. So let's go ahead and put this on really quickly. Wherever this goes. Now you notice this area where the hinges are is cut out, so you see a little bit of gap there. So let's go ahead and put that side on, Nehemiah. So you're going to get 4, 2 on the left side and 2 on the right side. The back side and runner D has 3 screws on each side. Runner C, which is the front side of the table, only has 2 wood screws on each side. Let's start off with this one. And you're going to use the same thing, a Phillips bit, 2 screws here. You're going to place this in here, and you're going to tighten this down. Now we're going to go to the opposite side. We screwed one side in with 2 wood screws on one side of the table. Now we're going to go to the opposite side, and we're going to do the very same thing. We're going to take 2 wood screws and screw those in. Go ahead, Nehemiah. Once you put your C and D runners on, C runner on the front, D runner on the back, now it's time to put your power box in place so we can hook up the 6-inch actuators. You're going to notice a few things on the power box. Number 1, it has 2 grooves that are actually rails in there that is going to slide up onto the power box mounting bracket, which is right here. You're also going to know that the power box is color coordinated. And if you look at all the ends of your cords, they're going to be color coordinated. So you're going to have green, you're going to have blue, and you're going to have red. Your colors might be different. Just make sure that you color coordinate them. So let's go ahead and hook up these actuators cords right now. So I'm going to take the orange right here, which is orange, and we're going to go ahead and set this in the power box and put it into place like that. Now, the 6-inch actuators also both have orange on there. So we're going to take the 6-inch actuators, we're going to undo these just like so. And once we undo these, we're going to take this right here, and we are going to set those up into the proper channels. So I'm going to take this out right here. Notice I have orange right here, and notice I have orange right there. So if you look at these connectors right here, you're going to take them and you're going to plug them in just like so, one on each side, and then clip that shut. You're going to take the other side, you're going to place that in there, and you're going to clip that shut. Now, both of these actuators are going to be operated through the remote by one cord. The very next thing that we are going to do is we are going to take these actuators, which are the outside actuators. They are also color coordinated, and we are going to take those, we're going to take the zip ties off of them, and we are going to put them through the little hole that you see on the table. So if you get a close-up of these holes, that's what these holes are for. And we are going to take the cord, and we are going to put them from outside of the table to inside of the table, and then we are simply just going to match the colors. In this case, it's blue and blue, so we are going to put this down just like so, and we are going to plug that into the power box just like so. And then the only one that we have left is the green. Now there's a way that you do cable management. The way that we do cable management here, if you look at the back side of the D runner, you're going to see metal clamps. There's a multitude of ways that you can do the cable management, but at the end of the day, these cables never move. So you want to run all the actuator cables through these brackets, and that keeps those cords nice and in place and out of your way. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you with the cable management is this piece right here. On the power box, it has a clamp. So we want to make sure all these cords are clamped down. So we're going to take this out, and we're going to pull that, and we're going to take this out just like so. And then we are going to take this out, and now we're going to notice that all of the wires that we put that come off the cables are in a nice row, and there's a little slot that they go in just like so. Once we put those in the slot, we can put this clamp back down just like so, clamp back down just like so, and then this holds all of the power box wires in place, okay? So now we're going to undo the power cord for the power box so we can go ahead and plug this in to go ahead and get it actuated so we can actually lift the table up so we can go ahead and assemble the 6-inch actuator. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right. Now to go ahead and to assemble the 6-inch actuators, we are going to need to raise the table. So once we have the 6-inch actuators, the end of them, both of them sitting in the brackets where they're supposed to be, now we are going to lift the table at an angle. So you're going to see the table after Nehemiah pushes a button, lift up at an angle. And then once that occurs, then we can go ahead and make sure the 6-inch actuators are properly attached. So let's go ahead and do that, Nehemiah. Let's go ahead and raise the table. Once you have the table at a full tilt, you're going to take the cotter pin and the clevis pin, and you're going to go ahead and make sure those 6-inch actuators are properly attached. So Nehemiah, if you don't mind, do that side. Now that you have one side actuator, cotter pin and clevis pin in place properly, now you're going to go do the same exact thing to the opposite side. So there you go, Nehemiah. Cotter pin and clevis pin. Now we're going to attach our 4-wheel casters. The 2 locking casters are going to go on the front, which is your C-side runner, and the 2 non-locking casters are going to go on the back. It's where your power box is at. So make sure that you're putting these on accordingly so you can lock your table when you're using the table from the front. So let's go ahead and flatten the table now. Now that we have the table flat, we are going to go ahead and assemble the wheel casters. The locking ones with the lock will go on the front, which is on this side right here. It's the same size. It's the same side as we have the hinges and the same size we have the C-runner. So let's go ahead and put the locking casters on now. You're going to need 1 bolt and 1 washer with 1 locking caster. So I'm going to give one to Nehemiah, and then I'm going to do one, and we're going to walk right down to the front just like this. Now remember, because this table is upside down, the wheels also have to go upside down. So once we have that wheel where it goes, we're going to take the 1/2-inch nut right here, and we're going to go ahead and put this on. This can be assembled with an adjustable wrench, with a pair of pliers, or any socket that's 1/2 inch. But once that's done, your locking casters are going to be done on the front on either side. So on that side is locking, on this side is locking. So once we've done the front side where the locking casters are, we've done it on each side, we're simply going to do the same thing to the back. So where the D runner is and where the power box mounting bracket is, you're going to put your non-locking casters on the back. Remember, the table's upside down, so we're going to put the wheels upside down. We're going to go ahead and put the washers on there, then we are going to put our bolt. And you're going to find whatever bolt that you need to put these on here. You can use pliers, you can use a wrench, you can hand tighten these. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can put these bolts on once you find the proper size for each bolt. Now to put on your stabilizer bar, you're going to need a hand tool or an impact drill or a regular drill. And it's a size 3 hex bit. The hex bits hex head bolts look just like this. Now, where you are going to put the stabilizer bar is in the back side of the table. So if you look at your legs right here on either side, on the inside, you're going to see a spot. If you look on the outside of the leg towards the inside, it looks like it's missing one bolt that holds the legs together. The bolt that it's missing is the one that holds the stabilizer bar on there. So I'm going to give you a hex bit right here. And then you're just going to simply line it up. And once you line that up, that bolt is going to go all the way through. Now once we've done one side of the stabilizer bar, we just have to put the stabilizer bar on the second side. So we're going to come to the second side. Once again, where that missing bolt is, we are going to take this bolt and we're going to put this in, and we are going to make sure that this is perfect so we can go ahead and put that second one in. The very next thing that we want to do is we have the rail system that goes on the back of the power box, and we have the power box mounting clamp right here. We're going to take the power box that is upside down, okay, and we're simply going to slide it from upside down towards yourself, so it slides up. Once we slides up, we want to hold this power box in place, and we want to do that so we can raise the table in order to put both 6-inch actuators on. It's easier to do it this side, and we're going to push this down just enough to hold this where we can hold that power box in place like that. You don't have to use this, you can use anything to prop it up, but we want to just keep this in place while we flip the table over. Once we flip the table over and we push that button and we tilt the table, this box will fall out on its own. Then you can pick it up and throw it in the trash, or whatever you determine that you want to use to prop this up is fine to flip the table over. So let's go ahead and flip this table over now. Now that we have the table flipped over, we go ahead and put our 30 by 60 mat in that's still in the plastic. You're going to notice at the tabletop that there's an area that is machined out where this cutting mat will sit, allowing the cutting mat to be nice and flat in relation to the table. You're also going to know, we're going to go over the remote, we're going to have 4 commands on this table. I'm going to go over the commands with my hands, and then I'm going to do a little bit of each, okay? Command number 1, the left side of the table. That will go up and down independently. Command number 2, the right side of the table will go up and down independently. Command number 3, both sides of the table will go up and down together. And command number 4, the back side of the table will tilt for you. So really and truly, you can tilt it from this side, you can tilt it from this side, and you can tilt it from this side. Okay, so now that I've gone over, you're going to see the single arrows right there. The single arrows will raise and lower one side. You'll notice that this side only is coming up. Now, this side only is going back down. Arrow number 2, which is a single arrow. You're going to notice that this side up here is going up by itself independently, and the down arrow will bring this side back down. Now, row number 3, you're going to see double arrows. The double arrows will make sure that both sides raise and lower at the same time. So once I push that button, you're going to notice both sides of the table goes up at the same exact time. Double arrow on the other side, you're going to notice that it goes back down. And the last double row arrow is going to be that tilt front to back. Now, once I lift this up right here, you're going to notice that the cardboard box that I use for the power box, once I raise this, is going to fall out by itself. So you ready for this? I'm going to go ahead and lift it. And as you can see, that power box is there. And that power box will fall out. Once that falls out, you can pick that up and throw it away, and then now your table's ready, because now you can push the down arrow and that side will go back down. So you're going to get this right here, you're going to get this right here, you're going to get this right here, and you're going to get this right here. So that is 4 commands that your Elite Workstation will do. The last thing that I want to show you, and a lot of people ask about this is a protractor. A protractor has all of your different angles in there. You're going to be able to sit your protractor in this little slide right here. Once I have both of these loosened, I can take this point on the protractor and I can put this on any angle that I would like right here. In this case, it's going to be, let's just do it like this. In this case, it's going to be a 22.5. Once I have that there, I can go ahead and tighten this down right here. I go ahead and tighten this down. And then I can go ahead and make my cuts, move it down, make my cuts, move it down, make my cuts, move it down. This is a track that protractor will sit in, so no matter what point you put this angle on, that will allow you to cut different size strips. You're also going to know that there's a line right here in the middle. That gives you the ability to line things up. So you're also going to find this protractor in your tabletop box, which is box number 1, I believe, but that's what it's used for. It's a protractor that goes into this slot right here that only the Sensational Elite workstations get. So you're the only ones that are privileged enough to get this product. So this will conclude your Elite Sensational Workstation assembly video. If you find this video helpful, I appreciate that. And if you have any further questions after watching this video and you can't figure something out, please call our customer service at 850-433-1414, and we'll be happy to help you and serve you in any capacity that we're able to do so. So appreciate this video. Make sure you let everybody know how much you enjoy Workstation, and we thank you very much for your purchase.